Good morning. My name is Sharad Agarwal, and I am the founder of Cyber Gear and onlywebinars.com. Those of you who don't know Cyber Gear, we are in the web, mobile, digital, and social space. Onlywebinars.com organizes corporate webinars such as the one that you are attending. I'm pleased to welcome all the participants to today's webinar, Attracting and Retaining Talent in the New Normal. This topic is extremely appropriate. Post-COVID, we have all had to reinvent ourselves in the way we work and indeed in the way we live. In today's post-COVID economy, organizations must hire the right talent for the right position. There is zero margin for error. Budgets, goals, and headcounts are all getting serious reconsideration. So whether your business is booming or grinding to a halt, maintaining a strong employee experience during this time will impact your brand long after the pandemic passes. The companies that prioritize employee experience today will be in the best position to attract candidates when it's time to hire en masse again. Today's webinar will be presented jointly by headhunting and recruitment consultants Lena and Christina, who represent ScanCruit in UAE. Between them, they have years of experience in marketing, communications, and HR. They will share with us some important tips and insights on how to attract and maintain the very best talent post-COVID-19. Their presentation will be for about 30 minutes, after which we will have an interactive Q&A session. So feel free to post your questions in the Q&A tab on your screen or even in the chat session. And you can type in yes on the chat to say that you are looking forward to hearing from Lena and Christina. So I'm going to be seeing you on the other side after about 30 minutes, and I'm going to hand over the screen to Lena and Christina. Over to you, Lena and Christina.
Hello. We're just going to share our presentation. One second.
Sure, welcome.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. We're so excited to see you here today. Well, we don't see you, but we know you're out there listening to what we have to say. And Lena, my lovely colleague here, and we're so excited to be able to present this to you today about how to attract and retain talent in the new normal that we're all experiencing and all a part of right now. As Sharad said, we are working for the Danish company ScanCruit. We work with solutions for expats, and we work with engaging the right employees in your companies. So we're very proud to do this presentation to you today.
Just give us one brief second. It doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah.
No. You don't see the presentation, do you?
No, you just need to click to exit the full screen, then we should be able to see it.
There we go.
There it is. Yes. Well, happy to meet you all.
Yes.
Sorry about the technical difficulties here.
So, yeah. So, yes, as Christina just introduced, I'm Line. Nice to meet you all. And see, this is a bit. Here we go.
Yeah.
After this presentation, please don't forget to connect with us on LinkedIn. You can see our full names here, but in the end of this presentation, we will also share with you a barcode so that you can scan, it and go into our website and also our individuals' LinkedIn profiles.
Yeah. Maybe some of you already know that actually 75% of all employers, they struggle to find the right candidate. And looking at the market right now, post-COVID or mid-COVID or whatever we should call the situation we're all facing right now, the situation is not becoming easier actually. So hiring the right employees for your company is actually a quite difficult task. And it's a very serious task that you should take very seriously. Actually, as an average, it takes 23 days to hire a new employee, and sometimes even longer. And a little bit shocking is it for us to find out that almost half of those employees, they actually fall through within the first 18 months. We will a little bit later explain the cost associated with this wrong hire in the beginning of a new employment.
So along with this, we would like to comment on why you should use a headhunter for this process instead of going through this scenario that Christina just described. So we have come up with the 5 main reasons why we think you should use a headhunter. First of all, using a headhunter will ensure that you get a higher quality of candidates. This is because we as headhunters will have access to a larger talent pool. Instead of just receiving a lot of LinkedIn CVs and so on, we narrow it down and we find the qualified candidates for your exact company. It will also lower the risk of a bad hire. It will, in the end, create a greater profitability and also, of course, happier staff. And very essential, you will get a lower staff turnover.
Yeah.
Lena, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have a comment from some participants that they're not able to see your screen, your presentation screen. Yeah. Can you just have a relook at that?
Yes, of course. Can you see it, Sharat?
No, I see a blank screen.
Oh, I will just stop the sharing and try again.
Yeah.
Let's try here. You see it?
Yeah, now it's good. Yeah, now it's good. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
No worries. I hope you can all see it now. Otherwise, please continue to comment in the chat box. So what do we do when finding this candidate? First step is to do a job analysis. We have to make sure that we have the right job description from your side as a company. Therefore, it's extremely important that you have transparency with us. We need to be able to communicate really well on what it is exactly that you need from us and what specifics you need from this candidate. So we have to have this mutual understanding in order for us to be successful in the process of finding the right candidate.
Yeah, because actually that's a very important step of finding the right employee, is to make a description of what that right employee's skills should be. So what is the key actually to finding the right employee? Yeah, many things, of course, but definitely, as we just said before, the screening process is probably even more important right now, because we see so many companies. Lena and I, we are having so many meetings with different companies in the region, and we hear again and again and again that when they post a position, they get, it's like thousands of applicants for even like, yeah, it could be C-level, it could be lower level in the companies as well. So the screening process is so extremely important. And then obviously a lot of companies right now have success in using skills tests as part of the screening process. We see more and more companies introducing this as a way of testing the skill sets of the candidate. We also have this, it's a variable that you can't really describe. We call it the X factor. It's the personality of that employee that doesn't come through on a paper. So this is, you know, the character, the attitude, what is the willingness to learn new things, what would be the passion of that employee in regards to working for you, and the engagement. Obviously, all these things together with the skills will make the candidate, you know, succeed in the job better than if you find the candidate not with that X factor. An important part of developing your employees, because that's the next thing. You do engage with them and you hire them, and then the next part is how do you continue developing them. And first part is to make sure that they have all the tools and the resources necessary for them to succeed in the job. We recommend that you find, it could be a mentor or whatever you call it in your company, within your company, an existing employee that is willing to help the new employee settle in the company, to help, you know, the communication process. What do we normally do? What can you do? And also it's important to set clear goals so that the employee knows in which direction they're going and why they're going there. And then, especially these days where we see more and more people working remotely, it's also important to make regular check-ins. We see companies doing that maybe twice a day. It can be like a morning meeting where you just discuss what you're going to do today, recognize if they've done some contributions to the team that you feel appropriate for recognizing. And then it could be a Friday bar. You meet on a virtual Friday bar, or you meet on, we even hear companies doing like gymnastic sessions for their employees, yoga sessions. It can be various things. Even, you know, things like sending it could be a small package of fruit, or it could be, you know, just to show the appreciation and the understanding of your employee working from home, which can be quite a lonely thing in the long run, not meeting people face to face. We all know that.
Definitely. So in this, along with this employee development, the onboarding process is extremely important. First of all, coming into the cost aspect of it, we will also mention that later. It can reduce your turnover a lot. Like it's really essential to do a good onboarding process when hiring a new employee. It will ensure the workforce compliance from day one. The training an employee undergoes during an onboarding really sets the tone of the employee's experience with the workplace. So it is really essential. Also, it will provide the new hires with the essential information that you will have to give from the company side. It can definitely cultivate teamwork in the company. If you make sure that the onboarding process is done successfully, and if you really show yourself from the best side and make sure that the new employee will be well integrated into the company, you will get the best team possible. Also, you really need to keep your managers accessible and accountable. This will make the new employee feel safe in the space that he or she is going into.
Yeah, and like Line just said, the onboarding process is so important in securing the new employee in your company. Actually, we know that up to 20% of all employee turnovers, they happen in the first 45 days. And I think this tendency is actually quite relevant in this region, where people have a tendency of jumping from job to job. So that's why we recommend that you ensure to have follow-up interviews with your employees to make sure that they are on track with the onboarding plans, that they know what they're doing, they know why they're doing it, and that you just engage them. Engagement is the key word here, actually. It's actually, in various studies, has shown that 87%, which is quite a high percentage actually, thinking about it, they are less likely to leave a company when they are engaged in their work and their workplace. So with onboarding programs that are taken into real life as well, it's not just on a paper, but you actually do it as well. You see companies enjoying a 54% increase in their productivity. So it's a fairly essential tool to implement in your company.
Yeah, and so coming on to relocation is one of the things that we highly recommend, and also one of the things that we are able to help you guys on if needed when hiring a new employee. We know here in Dubai, most of us are expats. We have moved from one country to another, and in this whole process, a lot of things comes with it. first of all, coming here, it's a new culture, it's a new lifestyle. So even just finding the right accommodation can be hard because you don't know the city, you don't know where would be the better place to live and so on. So it's really essential to help the new employee find this right accommodation and making them settle into the chosen accommodation. Also, a lot of people here are moving here with their families, and to find a place where they can have the right family facilities can be quite tough actually. So that's something that we really recommend that you help your employees with, and something that we would love to help with as well.
Yeah. Can I just say something here? Because in regards to that, just a small thing that you may not think about when entering the country, and you have children that has to go to a school here. It's extremely vital. You choose the school first, you get your children into that school, and then you find a place where you want to live. It's not the other way around, actually, because the traffic can be quite challenging.
Yeah, you went through that yourself 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Having to go through this whole process. I came here alone, so for me it's not quite the same, but it is really essential. And I guess a lot of you guys would know that as well.
Yeah.
So again, now that we have all experienced this for ourselves, we all know how hard it can actually be. And even finding the right social groups can be so difficult. Coming here alone, not knowing anybody, you want to find someone that you can relate to, that you can meet, that it can maybe help you settling into this country. Recommend as well to similar social groups. For example, we are from Denmark, and in Denmark we have this Danish, or in Dubai we have this Danish community. There's this event where you can come and eat with and dine with other Danes and so on. So also what you can do as a company is making those small events into, I see there's a bad internet connection. Can you all see and hear? Sharat?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Can hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay,
yes, okay. I'm saying there's a bad internet connection. We should have a good one. Anyway, so yeah, what you can do as a company is also doing those small events. Maybe make sure that you have lunches as a team, or as you said, have those virtual Friday bars, so like post-work events. It can be online as well, because now that is something that we all have to consider. Yeah, so we really recommend to consider this relocation as a very important part.
Yeah. Another thing that you can think about, if you've not already done it, is to introduce a buddy system in your company. And with a buddy system, we mean that you appoint someone in the organization, someone a little bit outgoing, someone that knows and is good at making the new employee feeling welcome and helping them settle in. It's actually shown that using buddy system will increase a lot of things, positive things in your company, like the productivity will go up, your performance will rise, you will have a larger job satisfaction, which is obviously extremely important if you want to retain those employees. And yeah, obviously the staff retention will go up, the communication between your employees will be better as well, improved, and you will have a quality in the work output, as well as just, you know, the fact of creating a safe environment where you feel that you have someone you can go to. If you have, it can be small, but it can be all kinds of questions you have that you have to feel you can go to someone and ask those questions. That's extremely important and something we really recommend.
So talking again about this whole thing about onboarding and relocation and integrating the employee into a company, making a cultural analysis can be really essential. We know here that we are expats from around the world, and we all come from different cultures. And coming to Dubai, it's most likely a very different culture than from what we are used to back home, both work-wise and also in everyday life. The likelihood that reflects and or be able to adapt to the core beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors that make up your organization. Therefore, it's extremely important for you to understand the employee's original culture, but also making sure that the employee will understand the company culture. We, for example, coming back to the follow-up interviews, we like to do those follow-up interviews because we know that here, for example, the Danish culture is that you don't really have a hierarchy in a company. You can go and talk to the CEO no matter what level you are on, but for many, many cultures, this is not normal. So there may be something that the new employee is not really comfortable telling to the employer. And this is where it really is a great idea to go in and then have a transparent conversation and say, is there something that you are not comfortable with? Is there something that we can help you with to make sure that you are really liking your new job? Because otherwise the turnover will happen, and that's what we want to go around.
Yeah.
So yeah, understanding the culture from both sides is really, really essential.
Yeah, and setting expectations on both sides.
Definitely.
Being transparent about that.
Yeah. So what we also do along with this to understand the culture of this person is that we do the DISC analysis. You may be familiar with it. It's quite popular in organizations to do the DISC analysis now. What it will do is that it will match how the candidate is presenting her or himself. It will show how the candidate responds to challenges in a work environment and how he or she influences others in a team. Also, the preferred work pace. We know that this can be really different from culture to culture, and it's very, very important to understand so that there won't be any misunderstandings within a team. Also, how the candidate responds to rules and procedures, as we just talked about before. Yeah. So this is really, really essential. And in order to find the right match, we actually recommend and also offer to do the DISC analysis in your existing team, yeah, to make sure that the right fit is made in between your new employee and the existing team.
Yeah, and can I just say one thing, because the DISC analysis, just to finish it off, it's not an analysis that you should base your employment on, but it's actually something that can sort of reveal if there's some things that the candidate, say about themselves that maybe is not completely aligned with the personality actually.
Yeah.
So it just shows those little.
We actually say that it should only be like a 20% of the full evaluation that the DISC analysis affects. However, actually a funny story is that Christina and I, when coming into ScanCruit, we had never met each other before, never. But our boss has had made this DISC analysis on both of us, and it has just shown to be the perfect match. Yeah. So it really, really, I mean, of course, it's not only that, but from looking into who we are as individual people and how we work together and how we are socially together has really, really helped us. And today we are the perfect match.
Yeah. So we're walking the talk, so to speak. Actually.
Definitely, yeah. So we can really, really only recommend this.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have, let's say, executive C-suite or executive employments that you have to do, once in a while, it can be recommended as well to do a cognitive test, just to make sure that the candidate's likelihood to succeed at the job is at the very best. Because this cognitive test, which we are not allowed to give the feedback on that one. It's actually a psychologist that has to do that. You have to be really well trained to do that, as it's extremely. It shows quite significant things about the personality and about their cognitive. So how you pay attention to detail. How good are you at solving it? It comes to critical thinking. How good are you at that? And your numeric reasoning and your comprehension of reading. So it can make sense to introduce this cognitive test if you have a very vital employee. We all know that the top employees of a company, they kind of set the bar for the whole company. If it's, if the attitude of that company is a nice behavior, or if it's not, that person is extremely important. So using a little extra resources to just make sure that that person is the right one, we actually will recommend that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we talked about it a few times. Now it's time to reveal what is the cost actually of hiring the wrong employee. So there's a lot of things that you have to look into with this calculation, but overall, the cost of hiring the wrong employee is about 30% of the annual salary of that employee. So it's quite a lot of money, and that's why we think it's worthwhile actually thinking about making sure the recruitment process is, as professional and as well thought as possible. So obviously, if you have higher level employees with higher salaries, the more it will cost for you. So a lot of things is involved. As you can see, we have a negative influence on team performance. We have a lot of staff time spent on the recruitment process. You have the monthly salary payments to the employee as well. A lot of negative things for your company that could have been avoided had you spent maybe that little extra dollars on finding the right employee. And so that's why we definitely recommend that you do spend the right amount of time in searching for that right employee. Yeah.
And taking a headhunter into consideration for helping you with this process, going through all of these steps that we have just talked about.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us for this presentation. We hope that you all enjoyed and got some new information, maybe.
Valuable inputs, hopefully.
Definitely. And afterwards, or now, please scan this barcode on the screen. Here you will find our website. You will find Christina's and my individual LinkedIn profile. Please feel free to contact us anytime.
Yeah, you can ask us any question. No question is too small. We're here for the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lena and Christina. A lot of learnings as far as I'm concerned. I have also a few questions to ask you before I take a few audience questions. My first question to you is, in today's environment where business is slow and there's no secret about it, I'm curious to know which industries are hiring in today's environment. Like who's calling you from which industry to hire at what level? If you can share some insights with us, that'll be useful.
Yeah. That's a very, very good question, because you're right. It's no secret that the situation, the economic environment is probably not the best of best, but we do see some industries actually doing quite well. And yeah, obviously it's the mask industry. That's one business that's doing well at the moment, but we also see good results within IT, e-commerce. Obviously, people are working from home, they're shopping from home, and then the food and beverage. We also have we also have good feedback from them,
because obviously now people are eating more at home. They're going to grocery stores more than ever before. So those kind of food and beverage has definitely been successful during these times.
I also believe the logistics industry is doing really well. The courier companies who deliver all the online e-commerce stuff, they are seriously busy. I mean, Cyber Gear, Touchwood, we are in the digital space, so we have been busy throughout the COVID time, and my team can vouch for it. I don't think they've ever had a time when, they could play any kind of games online. We've been, seriously busy, and hope to remain that way. The other concern that, most people share, I guess, is that we see a second phase of COVID coming. Europe is on kind of going back to a lockdown. UK has announced that, France, Germany. So I'm thinking that working from home is definitely going to be the new normal. And HR companies such as yours have to address this concern in depth, how to keep employees motivated day in and day out. Sitting alone in a room on your desk in front of a computer and, being available virtually all the time sometimes can be drab, can be dull, can be boring. One needs to be motivated. Do you have any ideas or concerns that companies have shared with you? And what do you think are some good solutions that you want to share with the audience today?
Yeah. So, okay, so actually, we'll fight. So actually, you're very right. It is a lonely situation sitting at home, and it may be fun the first 3 months. We've also heard like huge companies here saying that the first 3 months they saw productivity going up. People were a little bit excited. It's a new situation. working from home. You can, have tea with your kids up in the afternoon and stuff. Things you couldn't do before. But actually, as you say, it does get lonely. And it does get challenging for a lot of families and a lot of people as well, because some people, they do have kids at home, maybe they're homeschooled as well. So it's quite a challenging environment for a lot of people to work from home. And
even if you're not in a family, because also a lot of us here are just actually staying by ourselves, and that makes it even harder in some ways as well, because you really have to find out how to be good in your own company, and be comfortable in your own company for so many hours a day. So for example, what we have been doing in our company is that we have created, I know that a lot of companies have this, a WhatsApp group where we every morning just chat in and say, hey, good morning, hope you had a good night's sleep and are ready for a new day. Just like making sure it's not always all about business. I mean, of course it has to be, but you have to keep up the good energy in the company. You have to make sure that everyone is feeling well. Just check in once in a while. Make sure that your colleagues are feeling fine in this difficult period of time.
It's also, introducing, like, maybe it seems logical, but it isn't for everyone to introduce maybe check-ins. We hear companies here, they're doing it maybe every morning and every afternoon. You have a virtual meeting just saying, how are you doing today? What kind of task are you going to solve today? Is there anything we can do to help you? Just so you don't feel all left alone and you have to, like, every day do your own to-do list and your own.
Right.
So, and then little things like sending maybe a fruit box, just showing appreciation and showing a respect for the fact that, people are home alone, and little things, little treats like a little basket of chocolate or whatever. Actually can make that difference to you being, valuable in the company.
Sure.
I see there's coming in a few questions.
I also would like to know a little more. It's actually come from one of the participants. The DISC assessments, are they expensive in terms of the costing, etc.? And how long does it take to do a DISC assessment in terms of time frame?
So the DISC analysis. First of all. Because I can also see here, there's one asking how it can be done, right? So what you actually have to be certified in order to do the DISC analysis. So that can take some time if you want to do it yourself, and that can also be costful and so on. So that's why we recommend we can do this on the side. We can also do it in the headhunting process, but we can also just go in and make it separately for your team. And then depending on how detailed you want it, then the time frame will depend.
And the price, obviously.
The price
will also will also fluctuate along with the needs of how deep you want that analysis. But so people are very welcome to address us, and we will definitely come up with a price that's suitable for the given situation and given for the needs and requirements of that specific company, because it depends on, do you want a team analysis? Do you want just for, like Lina says, then it's part of the recruitment process, or is it is it a team challenge to find out how do we cooperate with each other in a better, more fruitful way? Because we're all different. So understanding the different personalities sometimes can make it easier to accept how we work. And we can lift better when we understand how we work.
Also, and I can also see one asking.
Sorry, I just want to quickly ask you, is there any website you can recommend there where employees can go and check on prospective employers in terms of their branding, in terms of reviews of past employees, etc.? Something like a Glassdoor. Is there something in the region, or is it LinkedIn, or what is your experience in terms of where people can go to check the reputation of a company? Have you come across this question?
Because we only have Glassdoor, right?
We've only heard about, only Glassdoor.
We've actually only heard about Glassdoor that people use that also in this region.
Cool. And do you think LinkedIn is a good platform for looking for jobs, or is there something else you would suggest?
Definitely. I think for us, we really we recommend LinkedIn, and we also prefer LinkedIn ourselves. We have like we're not just using the basic one, of course, as headhunters, but for applying for new jobs, I find LinkedIn really professional in that way. We have a lot of platforms here in Dubai, but also in some of these platforms, there will be so many applications. And so, you know, it's sometimes a bit messy. I find LinkedIn is
More
the
structured,
more structured, more professional as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And just a little add-on, actually Scancrude, we have a website as well, where people can load in their details and their CV. And then if we have a job coming up that matches those requirements, you're actually a little bit closer to getting that job. Because, yeah, obviously we look in our own portal, and they're all according, you know, to the GDPR rules of Europe. So we keep the CVs in a very professional way. We don't misuse them for anything.
No.
And can you give
see
us? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, Lina.
Okay, no, but it's just because I can see a lot of questions coming out over here, and I would like to answer some of them, because I can see that one is how hiring from recruitment companies help retaining. And as gone through all of these points, first of all, it is something that we recommend the organization itself to implement, but it is something that we will help on, because it can be a large task for an organization to implement all of these things. So when using us, let's say, for headhunting process, we go through all of these steps. First of all, before finding the employee, but also afterwards. We make sure that you can retain these things, and we make sure that the follow-up interviews will be done. We will take them personally. So there will be like a third part instead of just having the, let's see, the leader and the new employee. Sorry, in front of your head. To make sure that there's no miscommunication going on. So instead of taking this on your own, like instead of putting this responsibility on yourself, this is where we would like to go in and help you all, doing it for you.
And what I think is a very reasonable question for all organizations to ask themselves: does it add value to their business to do the headhunting and the recruitment themselves? Do they have the time for it? You know, is it adding to your bottom line? Actually, maybe, you know, this is our full-time job, so we know, and I'm not saying people don't know what they're doing, but this is our profession. So, you know, we know what we're doing from we get up in the morning to go to bed in the evening. So this is, you know,
let's remember, it's not just going to LinkedIn and then looking for a lot of CVs. There's a lot of detail going into this whole process, finding the background of the candidates, doing the disc analysis, having several interviews to make sure that this candidate will fit your existing team already. We know a lot of people, or we have heard from some people, that they're doing this process themselves. And what they do is sometimes they sit in the evenings. If you have 10,000 CVs coming in a day, it's impossible to go through them all. But also you cannot just cut in half and then put the other half away, because what if that right employee was sitting right there? So it is a long process. It is very resourceful. So that's why we really recommend to put that responsibility of some people onto some people that, as you said, do this from morning to evening.
Sure. I have
any other questions?
Yeah, there is one last question. Vasi Khan wants to know your website address.
For the CVs?
For your website, yes.
Okay.
It's actually on the barcode that we showed before. You will get a direct link to our website. You want us to show it again? We can do that.
People can scan it, and I hope you'll get a lot of LinkedIn connection requests after this webinar is over.
We hope so too.
We'd love to connect with you all. And please, again, send us a message if you have any questions. We are here for the same.
Sure.
Can you see it?
Yes, absolutely. We'll leave it on the screen there, and it's the time when I have to wrap it up. And I want to thank each and every participant for sharing their time with us this morning. Thank you, Lina and Christina, for sharing your wisdom in this domain. And
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. And I want to encourage participants to also visit onlywebinars.com. We have a calendar there and 8 other webinars coming up in November and December timeframe. So stay logged in and stay safe. We hope to see you soon in our next webinar. As I said, onlywebinars.com, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.